Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. How y'all doing this morning? Beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. Get all set up. Welcome back to Eco Nation News, news that you may or may not be able to use. You have entered into Eco Nation News, right? It's been a while, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. Thank y'all for coming in. It has been a while. Not based on my desire, but based on what we have at hand. You know, sometimes you don't have a choice on what you can and what you cannot do. You know, life says you're going to do something totally different. If y'all can, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and see me, y'all. Good morning. Bless up to you all. Bless up to everyone. Let me know if the mic is okay and if you can physically see me. Family man, how you doing? Bless up, bless up. He already putting the T's in the chat. Go ahead and put the T's in the chat. And we put the T's in the chat for all our newcomers. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in to Eco Nation News, news that you may or may not be able to use. But basically, why we put the T's in the chat is primarily to just say we're thankful. We're thankful for the Creator for giving us this time and this space in life. We didn't have to have it, but we have it, and we're so thankful for it. And if you're thankful for what you have and you're thankful for life, just to be able to be here to witness this live and to participate, because we definitely participate. I welcome your feedback. I welcome your information, and we will share it to the best of our ability. And if for some reason we may overlook you, we apologize, but we still want to welcome you in, and thank you so much for coming in. Family man, good morning to you. Good morning, Kathy B. How you doing? Grand Rise, Eco, and Gigi in chat. Cool. Does that mean they rezoned it? Okay. We're gonna jump in there. She ready. My community has one. Okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off on some of these comments because I already know. Y'all ready to dig in. I'm ready to dig in too, because this is change. Let me tell you, the landscape of this nation is changing, right? And the sad part about it, a lot of the mindsets of the people have not changed. I looked at this documentary in Washington, D.C., and it's amazing. It doesn't only happen in Washington, D.C., but I watch it happen throughout the nation. You'll have some. In the South, you'll have railroad tracks that separate prosperity versus challenging situation. Welcome in, Gigi. How you doing, Gigi? Come on in. Thank you for coming in, Gigi.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Is that blur okay, or do I need to get rid of it?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you. I'm feeling a little bit better than I did before.
Okay, you look good.
Yeah, thank you. So do you. You always look good. There's not a problem with that.
Every now and then.
Do I feel like I'm kind of separated from you or something?
It's the chair.
It's the chair.
The arms on this chair is making us. That's okay. I can come over a little bit.
Okay.
How's that?
That's a little bit better.
Okay. Let's go. Good morning, everybody.
You throw me off. Do I need to close the door?
Nah, you good.
Okay, everything good. The sound and everything.
Don't need to do a thing. Okay. Hi, who is up in this thing
let
today?
Me tell you, they're ready to get into the conversation.
Family man, how you doing? Kathy B, how you doing? Elizabeth Beth Payne, how you doing? My Renaissance Grandma, how you doing? Zeta Rose, how you doing? Seasons of Tree, hello, beautiful. How you doing? D Jackson, how you doing? Timothy T, Queen Adaya. Tim 472 BX girl, how you doing? Welcome everybody. Latonya Brewer, hello. Life's Journey, hello. Bruce B, hello. Tampa Creek, hello. Welcome in, everybody.
Great to see you guys. I'm trying to highlight everybody, man. I appreciate it. I can't even keep up, man.
Grand rising to you all.
Everybody thankful. We glad that you're thankful. We glad that you're here. Bruce B, how you doing? Grand rising to you as well. Okay. All right. So
hello, Wanda Carr Jones, how you doing?
One of the things that I want to kind of talk about, I was just sharing. Let me finish this conversation. I was watching the documentary. I think it was yesterday,
All right.
And it was about, I love seeing documentaries of communities and people kind of exploring and looking at different things. So the city was Washington, it was Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And there was a city, and the name was a community. They got broken up communities inside of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And there was a community just over the bridge where it's known for crime. It's known for a lot of different things. But he had a tour guide, someone that lived there that was from there. And I think he was India. He was from India. And he had a different outlook, a different experience, but he looked at so much opportunity. But then he talked to some of the locals there. He noticed that a lot of people feel like they're missing out on a lot of different things. They don't have a lot of opportunities, and that the city gets a bad rap. DC is not everything like the news and the media says. And it was just interesting that just across the bridge, it was a vibrant community, vibrant place, restaurants, people all around. It was just totally different. And then across the bridge, it was more of a neighborhood setting, but it didn't appear to be, compared to some of the communities I've been in, it didn't appear to be like just a rough community, even though I know at nighttime things changes. And also during periods of time like 2020, during the crack epidemic and the opioids and all the different things. I know different phases of communities changes. But in the South, we have what we call cities that long time ago, you got a railroad track in the South in a lot of the cities. And on one side of the railroad track, generally the south side of the railroad track, sometimes it's north, east, west, is different. The roads are different. The lack of sidewalks, street lights, it's a lot of different things are different. And then you go on the other side of the railroad tracks, and it's like you're almost in a totally different cities. The lawns are cut, the hedges are trimmed, sidewalks, no potholes in the road, street lights, even the name of the streets. The stop sign stands up straight. There's no graffiti anywhere. And I find it interesting that a lot of times we base our opinions and our thoughts based on our experiences, which I get, but then at the same time, what happened if just across the railroad track, they stop maybe vandalizing their community, start picking up paper, start growing grass, maybe cutting grass, planting flower gardens, hedges, maybe some of those lots, they turned them into parks. And what would happen if some of those communities just transition? And what keeps those communities from transitioning from another? Which leads us to this conversation that I'm going to have about with EcoNation News. We're going to do something a little bit different. This is news in our area. We have a community, kind of give you a backstory. There's a community that is in Florida, and it's probably a community throughout the nations like this. This community was developed and designed for more of an upper scale, what we call middle class, upper class. There's a lake that pretty much sits in the center of this community. Now, the same community on one half of that's not in this residential community, there was existing homes. Some of them were mobile homes, or whether you want to call them modular homes. And we need to go through that too, between mobile and modular. I know we've done it before, but some people will call them mobile homes no matter what year they are, no matter what the design is, because of the mindset. And there's a lot of myths and there's a lot of truths about it. But around the lake, on the other side of the lake, some of the homes were like, they were stick-built homes, but you can tell someone didn't go through planning and zoning when they developed some of those homes. But some of them they did. Some of them are very nice. And you will find that sprinkled out throughout Florida. I can't speak to a lot of places. There's nothing to see $1 million home next to maybe two homes down, a home across. You might have a mobile home, or you might have a concrete cinder block, 800, 600 square foot home that may be valued at 120 to 200,000. So it's not uncommon. It's all about real estate. It's all about location. And with that said, my question that I had was, here's a community. There have not been a lot of growth like what has been expected in well over 2 to 3 decades. And they have relaxed the restrictions. They had restrictions, no mobile modular homes, period. They had very strict requirements on the square footage of the house, what type of material of the house. They had, and also, let me say this, because the first thing that popped in a lot of people's mind was a trailer park. These lots are not jammed up on top of each other. Some of these lots are, I mean, this is a big community. When I say big community, this is a span. Some of these lots are 20 acres, 10 acres, 5 acres, 1 acre, two and a half acres. These are not small lots like what you may think. Because the first thing when you hear about a mobile home and a modular home, first thing you think about is when they relax it, there goes the neighborhood. But we're going to talk about it. But here it is where they have relaxed. The council has relaxed the limitations, and they now are allowing a limited amount of mobile homes. What's up, Be Rich? Thank you, Be Rich. Good to see you. Good morning.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in.
So my question is, in that video, and that video will follow this live broadcasting, is what's your thoughts about what if you bought a lot there, built a house, because we have a lot of transients that have moved from out of state. They have sold all their possessions or some of their possessions, and they have built and let me say this was before 2020 now. So a $500,000 house now is probably $1,800,000-$900,000. So every time I say a $500,000 house, is now have ballooned up since 2021 to maybe like a little bit under $1 million. But they have built $400,000-$300,000 houses that's now valued well over $500,000, and they are living. Some of them have voiced that they did not want, and they've been fighting this for decades. But now you got the city and the county, they still have the roads, they still have the emergency response, they still got everything. They got to fund all of this stuff, right? So I think they relaxed it due to the fact of not only the demand, but now we have rise in interest rate. And now with the rise of interest rates, people can't afford these big old homes. And now the city says, what our community and the workforce can afford are mobile homes or modular homes. So we're going to dive into this and take a look. And we're going to take a look at some of the comments that you all have made on the video. And we're going to kind of address some of those too as well. So with all that said, talk to me, Gigi. What are some of your first thoughts?
Ooh, you want my opinion on this?
Definitely.
Okay. So with the scenario that you laid out, you know, I'm going to put myself in the situation as if I had bought property out there. So say I bought 5 acres out there, right? Mm-hmm. And I was under the impression that there were going to be no mobile homes in the neighborhood. You know, I see my neighbor down here sitting on their 10 acres, and they have built a nice 3,000 square foot house. You know, they got a nice barn up there. It's a country community. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we still doing country things, but they said no mobile homes. Mm-hmm. And I bought on the premise of no mobile homes being out there on that in that area, in that community.
Okay.
I would not be okay with it. I get it that they didn't do everything that they needed to do in order to draw the traffic, mm-hmm. or what have you, but I wouldn't want it. Having lived this is our second manufactured home. Mm-hmm. We bought our first one back in the 90s. the community that we were in, though, was designed just for manufactured homes.
Can we put a little pin in there?
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about mobile homes and manufacturing.
Okay, so let's talk about the difference.
That way, when we interchange with the names and the titles, everybody be on.
All right. So let's talk about the difference. So you have mobile homes, which before 1976, that's what they were called, because you had mobile home, you had the homes that could easily be moved. They mostly still had their wheels on them.
Mm-hmm.
So that you could easily move them. They were not well built. They were decent, but they were not well built the way that the homes are built today. It's like night and day. What they used to do was they would put, what do they call them? 1x4s, 1x2s, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They would put wood pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To build strength of the home. Because listen, those same mobile homes are still standing today. We are surrounded by them.
Yeah.
People still living in those 1970s mobile homes to this very day, and they're still standing. What's important is you take care of your home. Whatever you live in, you have to take care of it. So those people of ours, those family members of ours who have the old mobile homes, who have actually taken care of the mobile homes, guess what? They got them looking very, very nice right now.
So let me
let me finish, and let me go through this the difference. I know I'm getting off track, and I know you're trying to bring me back, trying to bring me back. So the difference was, okay, that's the mobile home. And then you have the modular homes that are also still called manufactured homes.
You got manufactured and you got modular.
Right, but they're built to a different standard. Mm-hmm. So like this home that we're sitting in right now, 2x4 walls. What does your house have? 2x4 walls. Flooring, 2x6. Yeah. What does your house have? Probably 2x4. Okay. And we're on a steel frame. So the difference is significant when you came from 1970s up to now. So they changed the language, they changed the name, the verbiage that they use when talking about manufactured homes, which is basically just homes that are built in factories versus being built on site. Now, the modular homes are partially built on your lot, wherever your lot is. There's certain stuff that they're going to do in terms of when they build the home, they finish the home, put the home together, that is not going to happen like with the regular standard manufactured home. And on top of that, the modular home is built to a standard where, for insurance purposes, when they come to do an appraisal, all of that is going to be considered a site-built home. So there's the difference. Now go ahead, babe.
So now one of the things too, most homes have in the South has a concrete foundation. A lot of the modular homes, they will almost be the exterior structure will be the same thing as a stick built or manufactured home, but they'll typically bring in cranes and all of that. And then on your land site, they'll have that concrete slab, and then they'll place it on top of that concrete slab, and they will attach it to that concrete slab. And that could be on frame. You got on frame mod and you got off frame mod. So your on frame mod means they'll take basically this mobile home, and you can convert this mobile home to a mod. Put a slab on the property, take the crane, lift it, and apply it to the concrete slab on frame. That's an on frame mod. Then you got off-frame mod, means they'll take it off the frame and place it directly on the concrete slab. That's an off-frame mod. So there's it's a multiplicity of different types, what we're trying to say. And some people put everything all together based on the look, which one day I'm going to go through and show you some. I'm going to let y'all choose whether this is a mobile home or a manufactured home, because sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can't tell. But with that said, let's talk about this. If you have a mobile home in the very beginning, you went through that transition from RV, and what happens is the RV got bigger and larger to when they went to a mobile home. So if you think about an RV old construction, because there's still mobile homes that exist, that's an RV. You think it's a mobile home. They call them tiny homes these days. A lot of your tiny homes, they are really RVs. And when you try to get insurance or permitting, they will call those more like a RV. And even your financing, you will get it like a RV. So some of them, there was a transition between manufactured homes and mobile homes. So with that said, we're going to jump into this. Now, granted, I'm totally agreeing with you. If I purchased some land and bought into a neighborhood, especially with HOAs, with deed restrictions, they had deed restrictions. Yeah. They had all kinds of things. They went through the planning zone. They went through everything they were supposed to do. And they bought into this community with the mindset and with the investment side that stick-built homes will be here, that this particular caliber of a house will be here at the minimum. And anything that will be more, it will be more. So I would be very disappointed. I would be highly pissed if that happened to me, and that was my intention. Especially if I was an investor, and especially if I was actually living there, and that was what my expectation was.
Yeah, and not because today's manufactured homes are so ugly. Not that at all. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that if I want to sell my property, and it's supposed to be only site-built houses here. And now here I am, or here comes Eco Neighbor in with his manufactured home. Then because of the stigma that is surrounded by the mobile homes, and because of the appraisers, they're going to, in their mind, they all carry the same stigma that most of society carries about.
Because appraisal is an art.
Appraisal is an art.
It's the art now.
It's an art.
It's not defined like scientists or anything like that. It's an art.
And so that means that appraiser can come in with his own individual ideas on top of some of the information that he has gathered according to the U.S. Appraisal standards. He can come in still with his own ideals about what mobile homes are or what manufactured homes are. And then he'll say, okay, since your $300,000 house is on 5 acres next door to a manufactured home that is on 5 acres, we have to take some of your value away.
Well, I think too, to add to that, they look at, if you got a bunch of manufactured homes, your comparables may not amount, due to the buyer, may not amount to the same as a stick-built home.
If it's a manufactured home versus a modular, then they're not going to be able to compare apples to apples. Not mentally, they're not.
No.
They're just not going to be able to compare apples to apples. Now, we know that you can sell a mobile home, a manufactured home. Ours was a 1996 or 97, something like that. And so we know that you can sell it, and we know that you can still make a nice profit off of it because we've done it. However, most people don't think like us. Most people are not accustomed. I think especially if you don't live in certain areas, you're not even accustomed to seeing manufactured home. So all you know is that on the news, all they ever show, they don't show all the houses that are tore up. They're going to go to the mobile home community and they're going to show you what's torn up when the storms come through.
Well, let's put a pin in that. And first of all, I want to thank everyone.
Thank you guys for coming.
Off-grid trucker, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you. Welcome in, growing what I eat.
Thank you.
Living in the bushes. Be rich.
Thank you.
Appreciate
that. Be rich. Thank you so much. We appreciate all our supporters. Thank you to the Eco Nation. Eco Nation, put Eco Nation hashtag too. You're part of Eco Nation too. Now, man, you done said a lot, Gigi.
I'm trying not to go all over the place.
But we gotta break some of this stuff down because there's so many different layers, and you're gonna have to take some pauses in your thoughts because it's a lot you're covering right now. Now, let's talk about two different things. The idea of let me share this with you. If you have a Maybach. And for those of y'all that don't know Maybach, that's a very expensive car. Maybach, however you want to say it. German engineer, right? And then you have a high series of a Mercedes-Benz.
Mm.
Well,
BMW.
Okay. Let's just say you got a high series of a BMW. The truth be told, that the guts and the foundation of that car they're the same. They're the same vehicle. But now that Maybach or Maybach, whatever you want to call it, it may have some enhancements or some trinkets. You can do the same thing with other cars and spend far less. The same trinkets, the same stuff. But the idea of the headlights, the grille, the tail lights, the emblems, it makes a difference to the buyer, and they value that far more than a BMW, right? This is the same thing with some, not all manufactured homes. Some manufactured homes may be built spec-wise better because you can get 2x8, you can get 2x6 walls, 2x8. You can custom build your either manufactured or mod homes to even higher spec than regulation.
And
right?
that's why I've showed you all on the Gigi Naturals channel over the last couple of years. That's why I've showed y'all the differences in the homes, and especially when they have the walls showing, they have the interior studs still showing on their lot. They do that for a reason, so that you can see that they use real wood. Like this is not a plaything. They use real wood. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So with that said, it matters what you buy, it matters what you purchase.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's talk about aesthetics and mindsets. I have seen homes that have been bricked in, I'm talking about mobile homes, have been bricked in or manufactured homes. They may have added garage, the front porch, back porch, drop the pool in there, all of that. And it's not until they get ready to go to closing that they find out that it's a manufactured home. Otherwise, they didn't even know it. And the same stigma will appear. And then people want to offer less. So let's talk about if you have 5 acres and a stick-built 1,200 square foot home and a manufactured home that's 2,400 square foot, both of them 2024s. Whether we like it or not, the value of that 1,200 square foot house, and we talking about the same location, the same area, if whether it's on the lake or not. We're talking about apples to apples. We got two different lots. That stick-built home will probably be worth or sell at almost half. I shouldn't say half, maybe 1,600 square foot versus 1,200 square foot. All right. That same home will probably sell, that 1,200 square foot stick-built home will probably sell more than that manufactured home. Now, what people always talk about devaluing manufactured homes, and it's a lie in most cases because you're separating the land from your manufactured home. So let's talk about this. If I buy a lot, 5 acres.
Good point. Good point.
And I go and I buy a what you call mobile or manufactured home. And then I get ready to build a home and I sell that mobile home or manufactured home, and I paid $100,000 or $200,000 for it, but I only get $50,000 or $60,000 when I sell it at my best, because I'm separating the mobile home or manufactured home from the land.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's going to be worth less. If you take a house that's stick built and because they move, we live not too far from house movers.
Yeah.
They will take that. I don't care whether it's on a concrete slab or wooden foundation or whatever. They will take that home and they will sell it, and people will move it to another location.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the South. I can't speak nowhere else. They do that a lot in the South. So my comment is, what are we comparing? Be careful what they're comparing with, because if they sold that 5 acres with that manufactured home or mobile home, in most cases, depending on location, not in no dilapidated area, but it's a nice, well-maintained, well-kept area, that home will increase in value. We have seen it time and time again, because location is the key. And if you're going to compare snatching a mobile home off of a piece of land, let's compare a house being taken off of a piece of land and what would the value of that house will be too. Because sometimes that home, like I said, is not well built or cannot be in a mobile condition. It'll cost you more. You'll find more damage, and there will be more structural damage by lifting it off that piece of land than a mobile home on a frame, and you can move it and take it somewhere else. So with that said, we got that factor weighing in too on top of that. All right, Gigi.
Oh, go ahead.
So I just want to give light to some of the thoughts and some of the mindsets of what we're getting into before we go in this conversation. Now, I'm going to come from another standpoint. What if I lived in that area and there was very limited land that was available, and the rise of homes prices are through the roof? And I've heard videos where people say it's not better with a higher interest rate to buy a mobile home. But if you're saving $100,000, $80,000, and if you are disciplined and you pay to the principal and you refinance, people don't talk about that either.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me give you a cheat code. If you buy a brand new manufactured home, there are lending institutions like FHA, VA, you got credit unions. You keep that house, you finance it, and just say you wait 1 year and you refinance that house. Or you wait 6 months. Some of them have 1 year, some of them have 6 months. Some of them you can do it after closing. You can turn around in the same way the banks do you. You can refinance it, right? Refinance interest rate is cheaper than the going interest rate. So I have known people to buy a manufactured home, brand new, have it there, turn around and refinance it at a lower rate with the land tied in, and get a lower interest rate than the current interest rate. So there's so many ways that you can do things, but without knowledge, you'll fall into that continuous feed of vile information.
Yeah, what's happening is you have a lot of people that like to hear themselves talk. And they like to speak on subjects that they really don't know about. Off of what they've heard. How you doing, Shakira? Welcome in. Welcome in. Gardening is great. Welcome in. Ask the lawman. Bless up, fam. Welcome in.
That's the lawman.
But you have a lot of people who love to pretend like they are the expert at everything. No matter what it is, they want to pretend that they know the whole process and what happens with this and what happens with that. And that's why I keep repeating, this is our second manufactured home. The first one was back in the 90s. And now here we are in 2024, going back through this process again with another manufactured home. After having a home built, and after having a home that we bought that was built in the 70s, why on earth would we do that? Why on earth would we do that? If it's such a horrible investment, why on earth did we do that? That makes no sense to most people. But we know, we know better. We know the truth, and we have lived this life before. We know better.
No, I'm just going to say, what is the point? From a logical standpoint, if you are an outdoors person, you love outdoors, you love reducing your debt, you love being free, you love traveling, you love enjoying your family, you love doing other things, why put 70, 50, 60% of your income into a home that's going to do the same thing? You're going to be protected the same way. You're going to have the modern day conveniences the same way. Some people will pick a 1934 home with bad electrical and lead and asbestos and everything else because of the stigma of a brand new home that may be running you under $1,000 a month. And you will pay 130 some odd thousand to 300 to 400,000 for a home that was built before your grandma was born, with all the problems that it has. Now, it may have great foundation, may have a great, but I don't care, anything that sits around longer than grandmama and mother, it's going to get old.
And it has to be updated. The same
Still
way.
need windows. It's still going to need,
it's still going to need windows. It's still going to need to get rid of them lead pipes.
Yeah.
It's still going to need new electrical so that you don't burn up in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to need all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So anything, here's one thing that our old minister used to say is that everything that is built is corruptible.
Everything.
So it doesn't matter if it's built by man, it is corruptible. So if it doesn't matter what it is, what's the difference? Let me I said that. Let me go here. What's the difference between getting a shed and turning it into a house and getting a manufactured home?
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
You asking the audience?
Asking the audience. What's the difference
between
getting a shed and turning it into a home versus not no poorly built shed, okay? Like, go with me here. But getting a shed, like the shed that we have right outside of our door, guess what? 2x4 walls, 2x6 floors. Okay. So if you got something like that, what's the difference? What immediately would stand out to you as being the difference? It still ain't on a concrete slab. It's still above ground. What would be the difference in getting another home that is also built with 2x4 walls, that is not on a concrete slab?
So let me share some things with you. When you're looking at a shed to home, this is basically if you're going to already pre-built sheds. I'm not talking about you went to a shed builder and you custom design, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you went to a place and you went and you bought a shed, some of the prefab sheds that you've seen. Between today's, and we talk about today's mobile home. First of all, the price. A mobile home that is maybe small in size, you can get like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home, studio type mobile home. You can get that for around, in Florida. I'm not talking about outside of Florida, because outside of Florida is typically cheaper. It's typically 20 to 30% cheaper sometimes. But here, for around $60,000, you can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath studio manufactured home. It's small. It's real small. You can get a shed and do the same thing. But the difference is the windows are different. So when you buy that shed, you're going to have to upgrade the windows. You won't have hurricane straps from your ceiling to your walls. You're going to have to put hurricane straps in there. You're going to have to do tie downs. You're going to have to do here, you're going to have to split heating and cooling. You can't have makeshift. And like I said, it may vary where you are. I'm saying here in Florida.
In Florida. We can only speak for Florida.
That's it. You're going to have a split, something that produces heat and air that's permanent. You can't have like a wood stove here and a buddy heater over there. They won't permit that. You got to have a certain insulation. Your doors have to be a certain regulation. Your walls have to be a certain way. Your plumbing have to be a certain way. It's a lot of different things. And also the straps from your base of your walls to your 2x6 floors, it has to have straps too on top of that. There's things that you have to have that's going to stack up that cost to get it where you can get it, where you can live in it. Based on your county now, your county may say you can't even do it at all.
Yes.
Know that before you buy it.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is you're going to say, dang, maybe I should have just coughed up the $60,000 where I got the heating and cooling, skirting. You got to put skirting on sheds too. I got the tie downs. I got the delivery, the setup. I got everything paid for, and I don't have no sweat equity involved other than me going and coughing up the 60 grand versus you go there and you pay here about 15 to 20 grand for a decent sized shed. And if you pay 15 to 20 grand for a decent sized shed, by the time you add the appliances, the infrastructure, and if you're not doing all this stuff yourself, not only the materials, you're looking at labor costs, you're looking at bringing it in, you're looking at setup, you're looking at tie downs, you're looking at permitting, you're looking at getting it approved, electrical, everything. You might want to consider that $60,000 mobile home that you can get within 60 days or less. Go ahead, Bill.
How much did the guy tell us that day? Did y'all see the
yeah.
Did y'all see the black shed that I said got repossessed on my channel? If you saw that video, we had a deep, in-depth conversation with that young man that day. And we got some actual numbers out of him.
Well, we actually, the guy you brought in gave us some real
and the guys I brought in.
I mean,
listen, we've got quotes for converting the shed. We've got quotes for building a house. We've kind of covered all of it. And we went back to the different manufacturer dealerships. We've covered all the bases.
Yeah.
And so we know the cost that it would be in order to convert a shed to the home.
I forgot the engineer.
You got to have that engineer.
The engineer got signed.
So basically what has to happen in our state and in our county is that an engineer is going to have to draw up plans just like he would for a house in order to do the shed to home. So the area that we live in, the Tallahassee area, and all around this area, you're not going to just get to do just go in and do whatever you want because you're in an area that's regulated. If you want that type of thing, you're gonna have to go out to the desert where they don't really have restrictions, where you can get unrestricted land, do whatever you want to do.
Well, this is something I want to share, fam. When we purchased this land originally, a lot of these regulations and laws were not in place. And we've been doing this thing on a cash basis and a time basis. So over the period of time that we've been here, a lot of these laws have changed. And they're going to slowly trickle and expand because there's more people that are no longer living in homes. They're looking at vans, they're looking at mobile homes, they're looking at tents, they're looking at a lot of different squatters, all kinds of different things. Homes are going to get harder and harder, and we're watching the borders, we're watching a lot of other stuff. You can't sleep on it, no matter what affiliation you have. Population is increasing, and home demands are going to go up. And a lot of these cities that we don't want to live in and we don't want to be a part of, and that's slowly dying, they're going to start revitalizing because you're going to have the need for more and more need for homes.
Oh, yeah. The need for homes, period, is great because right now you're having all of the corporate companies, the corporate investors that are buying up the single family homes. And when you have that, all you're going to have is a whole bunch of people that are kicking you out from being able to buy a home. And in some cities, it's worse than others. Like Atlanta has been making the news a lot because the corporate companies are coming in and they're buying up neighborhoods, single family neighborhoods. They're buying them up. So now you can't buy. All you can do is lease. And you have more people who want to buy a home today probably than ever. And now because of things like interest rates, these corporate companies, these giants coming in, buying up the neighborhoods where the houses could be affordable, then you're just out. If you don't have land, you're just out.
Yeah. So I want to go into the chat, and if you can take a look at some of we're basing this reaction video.
So yeah, let's go back to the comment.
From the video that I previously done about that community. And we're going to go into some of the questions or some of the comments that people had during that video. And it'll be following this video. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. But I want to go into the chat real quick before we go into some of the comments.
Welcome in, everybody.
Queen says they are both manufactured large or small. In a lot of cases, I know a long time ago, before I even knew about manufactured homes or anything like that, I did not know anything about that, but I worked at Habitat for Humanity. And guess what we were doing? In order for us to do those blitz build 20 and 30 and 40 houses in 1 week, in order for us to do it, that's what we were doing. We had big warehouses where we were doing manufactured homes. We would already have the walls, the studs, the cutout for the windows, the floor joists, everything. We had everything, the truss, everything prefab in the warehouse, and we'll bring it out on trucks, and we'll all put it together. So it's been going around for a long time, and it can be very, it used to be very more attractive for as affordability because they bought things in volume, and they could buy them during the time when things were a whole lot more affordable. And if they need to warehouse them, they can warehouse the materials and then base it based on order. and then you weren't dealing with the current cost, so they could outpace the current cost. Family Man was asking, is it cheaper? Is the shed home cheaper? It depends. It depends. Like I said, there's a lot of different things. Where you are, it depends on the restrictions.
Well, I'm gonna say this. No, it wasn't cheaper. The one that that we got the price of on that black one, no, it was not cheaper than just going and finding you a single wide manufactured home. They would do, but listen, it was beautiful. The work, he showed us some that they had already done. The work that the company did, it was beautiful. It was very modern. It was like, I'm not taking anything away from it. It was very beautiful. And if you didn't see it from the outside, sort of like this, sort of like our home, if you didn't see it from the outside, you would never know that it was a shed, that it started out as a shed. You would just never know. So it was beautiful, but no, it was not cheaper, because when you go and buy a manufactured home, you're gonna have all your appliances already. You're not having to order anything from Lowe's and wait 6-8 weeks or whatever for it to come back to you. So no, it ended up, when we did the math, it ended up not being cheaper to do that.
So the off-grid trucker says, I have a shed I'm going to convert to a 5-bedroom home. I'm going to do the work myself, which will save me thousands. And like I said, depends on where you are, whether you can and whether you can't do that.
Yeah, we can build homes ourselves here, but you still have to follow code. You still have to build to code in the area where we live. So if you're living in an unrestricted area, you can do whatever. All right, you want to go to these comments, Dave?
Yes, I would like to.
Yeah, B. Rick said it's ridiculous here. Yeah, I know it is. It's wild. It's wild. So you better get whatever you can. Find what you can. Let me go to some of the comments that came in on Eco Neighbor's video when he was asking the question. Welcome in, sis. Good to see you. Okay. There she go. Okay. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. So one comment said, when Eco Neighbor asked the question that he posed from the very beginning, he says, or he or she says, manufactured homes have a use life of 30 years. It benefits the county in the short run because more people are paying taxes. In the long run, the valuation of the homes decline, which lowers the tax revenue and overall property values.
Because rephrase that into practical.
Who told you that? I don't know where this came from. I don't know. And this is what I meant, family, by people just regurgitate what they've heard.
Well, it could be the experience in his area. I mean,
manufactured homes have a use life of 30 years.
Yeah, I don't know. That means look, what he just said means you cannot drive nowhere around and see a mobile home. What is 30 years ago?
30 years ago was 94. Okay. 1994.
So that what he just said means you can't drive the countryside or nowhere around that area or that vicinity if there are mobile homes, because a lot of areas don't allow no mobile home. But that means you can't find a mobile home that was pre-1994. That's what he did. That's the first thing he said.
A use life of 30 years.
It only has a use life of 30 years. Can we?
And I'm trying to figure out, like, where did you
made
get
out
this?
of the same stuff that a house is. I mean, now I get it.
We see 70s mobile homes. Yeah.
Well,
everywhere.
Well, check this out. I'm glad you said it. My mom bought. First of all, I ain't gonna talk about it. My mom bought a home. We used to stay in my grandmother's home, and she bought a home as a single parent. She saved up, and we bought a used mobile home back in 1978, 79. And we stayed in that home until I was in middle school. And guess what they did after that house? Mama sold it. And guess what that house is still doing from the day my mother sold it back in 88, 87. She kept about 10 years, okay? Guess what that home is now? Still where the person that bought it on his property, along with a bunch of other ones. At that time, he bought several homes. Guess what is being done? Being rented to this day. And that home was older than me. It was old when we got it.
And what's that, 50 years ago? 50
Hey,
years ago?
That wasn't no 50. What?
1990s was 30 years ago, baby.
Wait a minute. Okay, maybe 40 years ago.
Okay, 40 instead of 50.
40 years ago. You don't do me like that. God, she's trying to make me 68 or something. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. No.
You ain't have to put it like
But
that.
people do.
God, no.
Numbers don't lie, people do. But y'all see what I mean by people just, they regurgitate stuff, something that they don't heard somebody say, and they have no facts, they have no clue, they have no evidence of nothing. They just gotta tell you what they want you to believe.
Check this out. What we gotta do, we gotta go on a live, and we gotta go on like on Zillow or something like that, and we need to go in South Florida where Andrew and all them other storms, and we need to show a different thing, that there are homes in South Florida, communities, whole communities with homes older than us, and I'm 50, and they still selling them. Now, granted, you get $2,000 for $1,500 a month for life for rent for the lot. Yeah, the house is cheap now. They're gonna say, but you can't move them over home. You can buy this $20,000 home that was built in 1974, 1968, and we're gonna sell it to you. But the lot rent is $1,500 or $1,200, along with the HOH, due the pool fees and this and that.
And this is why we keep saying that take it off. Okay. This is why we keep saying get your own land, because why on earth would you make most people's largest investment and then you put your home on somebody else's land? That don't make that to me, okay?
In a way,
that don't make good sense to me.
But in a way, that's what we do with HOA. They just haven't kept growing and growing. And people got condominiums. People got townhomes. Do you really own that? I'm just saying.
No, because if you don't do what they want to, they'll foreclose on your house.
Well, it's the same thing with paying taxes.
You didn't cut your grass this week. No, it's not the same thing. You can't paint your house green. We don't like green.
Oh my God, I got an RV in my front yard.
How dare you? How dare you try to put solar power on your house? In Florida, we have legislation that the HOA this is how powerful the HOAs are. We had to have legislation in the state of Florida that said you cannot bother people who want to put solar power on their house, because the HOAs, they were going in.
A good friend of mine, he had a company car. He didn't even drive his car. He couldn't even keep his car in his own parking space. We talking about a neighborhood where Tiger Woods practice golf. It's golf community. It's beautiful now. Gated community. But he could not park his car in his driveway because he drove his company car. He couldn't have more than one car in his driveway. And he couldn't allow his company to put their logo on the car, because he would have had to park the car if it had a logo on it to the clubhouse for the guest parking, and he would have had to pay a fee every month for parking. But he's paying for the house, HOAs, everything. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
They get to control your every move. You can't even chill and relax. Now look, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, and I'm fixing to go back. I'm about to go back. I'm about to go back.
Finish that one.
Okay.
That's why I was like, come on.
Steve Paul and Sunshine, how you doing?
What's up?
They can't have a purple mailbox. No, you can't even do your purple mailbox if you like.
Up in here.
You like that royal color. Can't even do it. Can't even do it. All right, so we're done with that one.
Are we done with that one?
With that one, yeah, we're done. Okay, so it said manufactured homes have a use life of 30 years. Like it benefits the county in the short run because more people are paying taxes. Who told you that if your manufactured home is old, that you don't have to pay tax?
You're gonna pay tax.
Who told you that?
Now let me ask you a question. Is it better for a community, if we talk about taxes, is it better for a community to be empty with a few homes that's paying maybe a little decent amount of taxes versus a community that's full and the taxes may be per house not as much as the ones per house on that empty, but which one is better? Is it better to have 1 to 2 tenants in your high rise paying high rate of rent, or is it better to have a full high rise, all of them paying still rent, the going rate of rent? Because there's a going rate of everything. A 1,200 square foot house is going to be a 1,200 square foot house. A 2,400 square foot house is going to be a 2,400 square foot house, regardless. So you're going to be paying a meal rate regardless, right? So is it better to have an empty community or a full? I'm just asking.
Better get them taxes if you know how I know. All right, let's go back to this. Let's keep on with this comment. The lives keep getting thicker. In the long run, the valuation of the homes decline, which lowers the tax revenue and overall property tax value.
Now let me ask you a question.
I want to know who the one person that liked this comment so I can block them. I want to know.
Well, that ain't true. This is only GG comments. These comments are not shared by Eco Neighbor or Eco Nation News. These comments are solely given by GG Natural.
Oh,
please reach out to GG Natural.
I stay on this.
Be Rich, appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
Be Rich says, I'm in a HOA townhouse now. I just had my deck floor redone in composite flooring. The top of the line, okay? The HOA flipped.
Because it was composite. It wasn't wood?
Because it was composite and not wood? No, they just didn't want him to do it, period.
No,
probably
well, he probably didn't get permission.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And this is the thing.
We need at least people permission to do what we want to do on our property.
This is the thing. If you had your bylaws, just say that community was built in 1991 and the going standards was XYZ and the HOAs have not been active far as keeping progressive technology and building materials and different technologies. They have not upgraded their bylaws and did those things and had those votes and had those things approved. Then you will have people still confiding to 1991, 1989 rules and regulations too on top of that. But check this out. Let's talk about that. What was the last thing?
Let's go back to the last line. The last comment. In the long run, the valuation of homes decline. That's what
there you go. All right, let me ask you a question. You say me and you as a viewer, we went in and we bought some homes. Let's just say in a state, in a city, and we got those homes through tax liens, right? It wasn't a desirable neighborhood, right? And we built those homes and we started redoing No, just say we built new homes, brand new homes. We put them out there. We started a community. We started building spec-built homes. And then people start buying the homes. But people start abusing the homes. The screen doors were tore off. The windows were broken out. People were selling drugs. People were doing all kinds of stuff. The homes siding started to fall off, and the roof wasn't repaired, and the neighborhood was not maintained, and we couldn't keep that neighborhood maintained. Would you not agree that the value would decrease with selling those homes? There's no difference between you taking a mobile home and putting it in an area that's less desirable, less wanted, and then you putting a bunch of them on top of each other with people on top of each other, and you putting people who may not own or buy it, and they renting, and then they start destroying it. Will the value go up? Probably not. It's going to definitely decrease, right? But now, one thing, it's almost like buying a truck. I don't care if you're in the South. I can't speak nowhere else. But if you're in the South, you might buy a truck, but it's only going to, long as it stay running in good operable condition, it's only going to bottom out at a certain thing. It can be old as dirt. It can be old as dirt. Maybe got a little rust, but it's only going to bottom out to a certain spot. Same thing with a roof over your head. A roof over your head is only going to bottom out to a certain spot because the demand is there. People need a roof over their head. So now, I said that. Now let's flip. If that neighborhood is maintained, taken care of, people keep their homes, take pride in their homes, and they cut their grass, they pick up the paper, they don't leave junk cars, they don't do all that stuff in their yards, right? And it's a manufactured home, value going to increase.
It's going
to increase. There's no way in the world you can tell me our neighborhood's homes sell for the same price that we bought. We bought the home itself for $50,000 in 1996, 97, 96, 97. $50,000. It was 32 by 80. We're talking about well over 2,100 square feet. It had 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It had a walk-in closet. It had beautiful home, fireplace, big old windows around the whole kitchen. It was beautiful. Slide glass doors, French doors, whatever you want to call it. It had everything you could think of. Now, when we sold it, we made a profit.
You doubled that joint.
We made a profit, right? Bottom line, we made a profit.
But there are people who, like this, will make this comment to tell you, to scare you away from making an investment. Listen, there are a lot of people out there who do not want you living frugally. They don't want you living frugally.
Straining. This
is why you have these counties that are now saying, okay, nobody can live in their RV. You gotta get a permit, and your permit is only gonna last 6 months to live in your RV. And then they're gonna force you to either build, or they're gonna force you off of your land because you haven't built, or they're gonna force you to buy a manufactured home or do something else. They're gonna force you to do something else on your land because they just don't want to see. I get it that they do it for the tax dollars or whatever, but you getting taxes off the land already.
That ain't enough.
That's just not enough. And then you have people who are making decisions about your life who have no clue about your life. They have no clue about the types of things that you've been through, the types of things that you've done, the skill that you have, et cetera, et cetera. But they get to make decisions about your life, your land, your house, your neighborhood, all of this stuff. So anyways, if you think for 1 second that if you buy a house and you take care of it, that it's going to decline in value, I got some.
No, we ain't selling none of that. We got it. The next question.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna move on from that one because
Yeah, we ready. We ready to go to the next.
All right. That is how squatters started. I'm not sure what that means. This was that is how squatters started. Okay. So meaning that they have areas like what you described, where the properties are sitting vacant. And then the squatters say, hey, this been sitting vacant for a long time. Let me get back there. Let me move back here. Let me get back there and say, what is 7 years in Florida?
Can you comment on that? Because it's constantly changing.
Yeah, things are constantly changing. But let me get on this property and I'm going to claim it.
To a certain degree, and that's why I don't like commenting. Some things I don't have no problem with squat. In some cases, not all.
Okay. I am not even fixing to go there. All right.
People are killed for land where you can't squat.
I think people that have owned the land should be able to build what they can afford. In Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, right on the thumb of the state, surrounded by the beautiful Lake Michigan, you will see 300,000 plus homes, and mixed in are smaller homes and trailers. I always thought that was unique. That was another commenter in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. So they have mixed use, and you have mixed use properties everywhere. There are some places where you can have manufactured homes. You can have, and there are some places where you can only have manufactured homes. Yeah. So it just really depends on where you at, what you're looking for, what you want to do.
So one of the things with the mixed use, which I think is very beneficial, is learn what you can and what you can't do before you buy your land. Before you buy your land.
Yeah.
All the thing I really got a problem with is when there's too much of one thing and not a balance of everything. Mm-hmm. You know, there should be mixed use. There should also be areas where some people love the HOA, like my friend, he loves it. He wouldn't have it no other way. The restrictions and stuff. He liked going through his neighborhood. He liked showing people his neighborhood. Mm-hmm. He enjoyed riding his bike through his neighborhood. He liked that golf cart community. He liked that sense of organization, that sense of pride, that sense of neatness and structure. Mm-hmm. When after his hobo day, he loves to not see any hobos on the streets, any of that kind of stuff. No junk cars in the yard. He loves that. Yeah. And for those that love that, I'm knocking it.
It was so great to see him come out here last week.
Yeah.
And he walked around in here. He was like,
he said he just got a house built maybe 3-4 years ago in that same neighborhood. And he said, I got the same fireplace. Wait a minute, you got Whirlpool? I got the same refrigerator. He was walking around pointing out stuff in this mobile home.
Single wide
mobile home. The single wide mobile home. He got, wait a minute. I see the energy efficient stick on the window. I know. I'm just saying.
It was great. It was great to see somebody, because like when you tell them, oh yeah, we just bought a manufactured home for the land, they're like,
you bought a Ford Escort instead of a 350, a Ford 350. Y'all would do better than that.
But so it was nice to see him actually come and see it, because he living in $1 million home, you know. Yeah. And so it's nice for him to actually come out here, and he was like, man, this is great. Like, y'all did good. But you have a lot of, don't call people that.
Don't do it.
You have a lot of other people who are just like, nah. And if you would never,
somebody called somebody in the comments. They said, "No, we're not going to promote that," but they called somebody bougie and all that kind of stuff. But this is the thing. It's funny when we go out to these tropical islands and we pay. I watch these millionaires and I watch them travel the world, and they go to these secluded places, and then they have these little bungalows, and they have like the palm tree fronds roof. and the bamboo walls and the bamboo flooring, and it's all from out there in the structure, and they can walk out and they see the beach, and the house, the place ain't built out of nothing, and it's maybe 1,000, maybe 600, 700 square feet, and they just in lap of luxury. But it's a mindset, y'all.
And that's why we're trying to help with the stigma behind the mobile home,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, that is why I was working to show you guys that it's not what you think. It's not what you've been told. It's not what you've been made to believe in 2024. Let's see, going back to MHW. How you doing, Queen? Having an HOA wouldn't give me a sense of freedom, still under subjection to more rules, such as when renting. And that's what it is. And most of the people, the majority of the people that we know, some of the older people, they're like, oh yeah, give me the HOA any day. But the younger people who do their own work, who like to be outside, who like to garden. So it just really depends on you as a person, like what's gonna work well for you or what's not. So HOA is great for some people, and then for others, they're like, man, they just find me because I ain't cut my grass, and we just like, okay.
Now, one of the other comments says, I don't think it would be a good thing to happen, especially for those people that built $1 million home. It could depreciate those homes. It would be considered a trailer park in the future.
Seasons of Tree.
What the what?
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This
He said you don't dance for money. Watch me now. Ring the river. Ring the river. Ring the river. Come on, ring the river. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Seasons of Tree. Thank you, Seasons of Tree. That's all we want to do is really to help people, to get a real understanding. And I tell my children, I've been telling my children since they were little, use your own brain, think for yourself. Make sure that you're thinking for yourself. Make sure that you're not letting other people make your decisions for you. And don't listen to those people who have not done what you want to do. I listen to millionaires because that's where I'm headed. Now, other people listen to peers who have not done what they want to do. And then they wonder why I can't never grow. I don't seem to never be getting nowhere. I don't seem to be going nowhere, because you're listening to the people who ain't went nowhere either. So if I say to you that I have bought 2 manufactured homes, one 30 years ago and then one current, and that they're different, there's just something great about some people, most people who are followers. There's just something great about them going to the person who was like, man, them things only have a 30-year lifespan. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all, because it's just more entertaining.
Imagine if you had a newborn baby and you ain't never wiped that baby butt. Imagine you had a newborn baby and you ain't never gave that baby a bath. Imagine you had a newborn baby and you ain't never took that baby to the doctor. When the baby got sick, you never took that baby to the doctor. Imagine if you bought a brand new car and you never washed it. You never changed the oil, never changed the battery. Imagine if you had a leak on the car, you never fixed that leak. Imagine you bought a mobile home and you never pressure washed it. Never changed the seal around the door when the rain came in and started leaking. You never changed out the water heater in 30 years. You know, it started leaking. And then now you got the floor, the toilet started leaking. Well, it's a trailer. It's a trailer. Why that leak?
That's the problem.
That's the problem in trailer. The toilet started leaking. But now I've been in a home that's now what? $400,000 value now. Guess what? The toilet still leaked. It was upstairs. Guess what? The ceiling still had moisture coming through it from the leak upstairs from the air house.
It's going on up there.
Why is my ceiling crying?
Why is the ceiling?
Why is it turning yellow? Somebody
what just happened?
You know, I mean, the bottom line is if you got a Toyota Camry or Tercel, some of y'all don't know what a Tercel is, or if you got a high-end Lexus, guess what? When you turn that key, the same engine in the Camry is in the Lexus. What it used to be LS300 or ES300, it's a Camry.
I got a friend who has a Lexus who takes their car to the Toyota dealership to get it fixed for a whole lot less than going to the Lexus dealership. What do you call that?
Stop the madness.
Stop the madness.
Stop the madness, man. If you don't like the way your trailer or your shed or your 1940s bungalow look,
change it.
Change it.
Do some work.
Put a porch on that bad boy.
I saw this guy. I like this channel. I saw this guy who took it was like a 70s mobile home. They hadn't done nothing to it. It was a mess. It was a wreck. But it was in good enough condition for him to buy it. He went through and renovated this thing. And by the time he got to the end of it, you just thought it was a small site-built house. You had no clue. If you saw it from the beginning and you saw his process, I was locked in. Yeah. I was locked in. I was like, locked in. But he put in the work. And those are the type of channels I follow. Them people that they putting in the work for real. They ain't just talking. They ain't just, entertaining you, just talking. Like I'm over the entertainment factor. I like people who do work. I like people who are putting their money where their mouth is and actually doing the work. And to see what that man did to that home by himself, it was incredible to see this small home that this man turned from an old raggedy mobile home to a very beautiful, nice, modern looking home.
So let me ask you a question. I don't know if y'all ever seen them car auctions, the Barrett and Jackson car auctions. Mm-mm. So Barrett and Jackson, he's a car collector. He has
Barrett Jackson.
Yeah, out of Arizona.
Well, you be tearing up some names, boy. My baby will tear up this.
Did she understand what I was saying?
He will tear up your name. When you're like Barrett and Jackson, I'm like, what? Barrett? Oh yeah, gotcha. I'm with you, baby.
So she likes to go all down to when you tell her go to the store, she go down to Walmart, Macy's, and Marshalls, and come back around and then go put some gas in and then come back and then come back. That's fine. That's fine. I love her for that. But those vehicles, some of those vehicles are so old. Some of them are older than me. But the difference is between a lot of those vehicles, it wasn't about the build quality at the time they built the car. Because some of those cars were garbage in their heyday. They call them Mopars, right? The elite ones. It's several other cars. I could go to a Toyota to sell or whatever. But the point is, the ones that were maintained, taken care of, low mileage, when something broke, they fixed it. They went back with OEM parts. They made sure that they cared for those vehicles, or some of them they just tucked away in a barn and kept them for years, but it kept wetness and moistures and rat out of them. The value of them are so high in current time. They're higher than regular brand new cars that you can buy, the same model, the same name, title, and this and that. The value is higher.
Mm.
So I'm saying all that to say is take pride in what you have. Have you ever been in a point in your time, which I've been multiple times, where your car broke down, your transmission went out, your motor blew, and you didn't have transportation? And now you're asking people like Stephanie for a ride when you just asked to go down the street, but she took you over to Macy's, over to Walmart, and you just trying to get to that place and come right back. But you at their mercy because you got to ride with them, because you asking them for a ride. Mm. If you ever been to a part where you didn't have a place to sleep, hint, hint, didn't have a house to go to, didn't have a roof over your head, you didn't have a place you can have a peace, and you were, quote, homeless or without a home, right? Some homes in some places that are clean, well taken care, and well managed, you are thanking the Creator, you are thanking God for it, because you're grateful to have that put car that takes you without no AC, without no heat, down the street to that job to go get more bread, to go fix that car. You take more pride in that car. You don't care about what people say about that car looking a little tattered and a little raggedy. You don't care about you going to that home, because back in the day, I grew up in an era where people swept the project stew. You walk through the project, you smell bleach and pine sol. You smelled soap when you went in, please. You smelled cooking. You saw the grounds in the project that were built out of brick. Now check this out. Back in the days, the projects that's probably still standing this day were built out of bricks, but they were projects.
Right.
You don't take pride in projects.
Right.
You got a concrete center building, and it's out of exterior bricks, and you don't take pride in these steel frame windows. You don't take no. We took pride in what we had and where we were, and we need to go back to it, because we're too busy chasing this bag and trying to look so flamboyant. And I kept saying, baby, do you want $100,000 truck or $100,000 worth of piece of land? Now that truck is going to allow more people to see us.
I was just about to say allow other people
to see us. When we roll up, man, we're going to be rolling deep. But the question is your month to month, your day to day.
And they still going to hate you.
There she goes. That's my baby.
They still going to hate you.
But this is the thing. Know thyself.
Yeah.
Know your needs.
Yeah.
Our family is taken care of. When the chips fall down, I'm not going to leave my kids with no burden. They're not going to be like, oh my God, our parents left us with so much stress and so much stuff that we don't know what to do with it.
What to do.
But we can say when we leave, they're going to be like, wow, look at this abundance.
Our oldest daughter is like,
she already counted the days, man. That girl already counted.
Our oldest daughter is like,
yeah. When
y'all don't want me in the baby room.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I kind of see where I'm gonna put my little canopy, my little bungalow. Yeah.
And we just like, baby, we still got a few more pecan seeds to go. So if you wanna go on and get your own manufactured home, we got 19 more acres back there.
Let me just kick the can down the road just a little bit further, as my auntie Ellen said. Just kick the can a little bit further.
But yeah, you have to take care of your stuff. If you take care of your stuff, then you're going to reap the benefits. I saw Growing with Hudson talking about her car. B Rich was talking about his car. People still asking for my car. They ain't getting my car. Do y'all hear me? They asking for my car. They asking for his car that he had. They keep calling my daughter, and my daughter is like, man, I done sold it. But the dealership is actually calling, asking about our two vehicles.
Y'all still got that car?
And I'm like, you ain't getting my doggone car. I know that. She paid for it. That's how I like her.
I got a friend with a RAV4. They asking for, he leased it and then turned around and bought it, right? And they offering him more money than he paid for the car.
Yeah, I don't care how much they offer for mine. Listen, because my car new now.
Whoa.
It's gonna be a lot.
Man? Did you see the repo man? Whoa. Baby, go hide the car in the back of the lot, baby. Go hide the car in the back there. Don't let anybody see it. Put some sticks across that bad boy.
MHW says, yes, slept in my car in a park. Had more peace than renting a unit. Took care of the car. Weekly visits to Jiffy Lube to make sure the car home was running well. And listen, you got to take care of your stuff. If you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. The reason
I'm doing this is sometimes life gets so hard. That it costs you less to get rid of stuff.
Let go.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Reset sometimes in my life has been better than me maintaining.
And let me tell y'all something right now, the mind frame where I am right now.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's get ready. Let's get ready.
Right now, today, what it is, the 30th, June 30th. My mindset right now is if anything ever tried to stress me out, it's got to go. It's got to go. Listen, I'm not fixing to be that for nothing in the world. I'm not fixing to be going crazy over some stuff or something or some relationships or whatever it may be. Stress me out if you want to. You got to go. You got to go. Gardening is great. How you doing? Good to see you. Right, get you from point A to point B. I think she was responding to gardening is great. Season of Tree said, absolutely. It's so important to take care of all that we have, including ourselves. Amen, sister. Amen. We're doing great with the like button being hit. Oh, thank you all. Appreciate you all. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate that. Yes, sir. The word said a good man or woman will leave an inheritance unto their children's children. The word said it.
All I can do is try, my brother.
The word said it.
And all I can do is try. You know what I'm saying?
The word said it.
That's all we can do is just try. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I had another.
Brenda King, how you doing today?
How you doing, Brenda? Welcome in, sis. Welcome in.
Did Brenda change the icon? I see you, Brenda.
Brenda, you changed it.
I think you changed your icon. I could be wrong.
We got two Brendas though, so you could be thinking.
No, I see Brenda King.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here's another comment that came in on Eco Neighbors video. It says hi Sylvia. It says the reason why that community didn't want mobile homes before is because they were being bougie and elitist. These days, mobile and modular homes have become so advanced and fabulous. Also, I'm sure they will have guidelines on the types of mobile or modular homes allowed. I want to go on that last part of what they said. I'm sure that they will have guidelines on the type of mobile and modular homes that they allow in that community.
No one thinks about that. They just think it's going to go to hell in a handbasket.
And they think that
they're bringing these poor folks out here.
Yes.
That don't respect what they have.
Poor people in crime.
They work all the time, but they don't take care of nothing.
Poor people in crime, bringing poor people in crime to the neighborhood. So the last thing that they said was they'll have restrictions on the type. Let us tell you, okay, we have been watching manufactured homes since the early 1990s because we've been together that long.
That's what I try to hold.
We've been watching them this whole time because when we were kids dating, you know, and we were just like, man, because I think there was somebody in your family that had some acreage or something, and you were like, man, that's nice. That's a nice setup. He got him 5 acres, the big double wide sitting up on the hill, and he overlooking all the pine trees. Like It was so beautiful. And so I was like, yeah, that might be nice, you know? So that's where we were going. We wanted our 5 acres. It just ended up that God said, okay, I got something different for you. But that's where we started. So we've been watching for a long time, for a very, very long time. And so let me tell you, there are still some cheaply built manufactured homes out there.
Cheap.
We did not know that they even still existed until end of last year. Was that end of last year when we went to Panama City?
Don't lean on the walls, cuz.
Don't lean on the walls, because there are still some very, very cheaply built manufactured homes. And I see it like this. This is my opinion. If you're gonna pay $60,000 for the cheaply
this
built,
is how I got. Go ahead. Let's go. Come on.
if you're gonna pay $60,000 for the cheaply built manufactured homes that has the what they call the batten walls with the ugly little look to them, and they thin and all of this
now,
stuff.
for our listeners that have the batten walls, we're not dishing that.
No, we done had them before. Okay, shoot, we had them in the first place. That's how I knew what I wanted the second time. Okay,
it's still
so
cheap, right? You can peel it off.
it ain't no.
She's trying to sell it. I said, man, have you ever owned one of these?
No.
Matter of fact, I'm renting. I'm like, stop telling people lies. You're supposed to be educating people, man.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. And that's what we don't want y'all to do. We don't want you to we don't want to tell you a bunch of lies and blow a bunch of hot air on you. We want you to really be educated when it comes time to make your decision on what you want to do, whether you want to do a shed to home, or whether you want to do a manufactured home, or whether you want to build a home on your land. We just want you to really, truly be educated on whatever it is that you decide to do. But we didn't know that they were still out there, because we had not seen any in such a long time. But baby, you can go on to Panama City, honey.
Don't do
and
that.
You can find you one, or you can pay an extra $40,000. Go on up to the $100,000 range. You still gonna be paying $800 a month, okay? And that's just because the interest rates are high. The interest rates are about 1 point higher for the manufactured homes than they are for the site
We
built.
need to do math on that too. We need to seriously do math on that, because if you're diligent, oh man, I hate to say this, but if you're diligent about what you're doing, just what I mean by that,
Get your credit score up.
say you take care of your business. Say if you take care of your business, right? You might get into this manufactured home, and it may be easier. But to me, I feel like an FHA was easier than a mobile home than anything, right? But I'm gonna just say
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna say that.
I didn't.
All right. Well, that's me personally.
I mean, that's you.
That's my personal thing.
But
this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. If you have due diligence and you say in the beginning our payment was like $575 a month, 77. As I made more money, I paid more to the mortgage, and I added it to the principal. I don't care if it was 25. Hey, Pam, what's going on?
How you doing?
POV too. Anyway, I see. But if I added $25, $30 every month, I was watching over a period of time, my payment was going down. Now, if you're that type where whatever payment they give you every month, statement they give you, that's all you pay, that's all you pay, you're gonna hurt. But now if you just put them grown folk pants on and just say, man, I got a little raise. I'm going to pay an extra $20, $30, $40, $50, or I make an extra payment every year, or I might make 2 payments every year. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break it up month by month. You're going to watch that you're going to outpace a lot of that inflation and that crazy. Now, keep that in mind. Now, I'm talking with that mindset. Mm-hmm. Now, you just bought this and you paid less. That just say you save you versus a site-built home $80,000 to $100,000, mm-hmm. and you be grown and do the right thing and just keep paying a little bit more and paying a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Trust me, long term, you're gonna be finished with paying that a whole lot faster than a house. Mm-hmm. And one thing about houses, because the stigma is the value keeps going up. Your taxes keep going up higher. Your insurance keep going up higher. Whatever you want to fix on that house to keep going up higher. The maintenance to keep that house keep going up higher. What I'm telling you, it's a perpetual cycle. I ain't dishing. But I'm just saying, to some of us are struggling, or we might be tight right now. Mm-hmm. Don't let that turn you off to the part where you be like, I could really be comfortable doing this, y'all.
Yeah. Now, if we continue growing what I eat, welcome to Eco Nation and gifted 5 memberships.
That's what's up. Don't know how that worked, but that's what's up.
Yeah. He just hit like he's gonna do a super chat, and then he can gift memberships. So it'll hit 5 people in the chat who are not members. So you got new members. Growing what I eat. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Welcome to Eco Nation.
Be sure to email econeighbor@gmail.com. If you are a member and you're not fellowshipping with us, please utilize those resources. I would love to continue the conversation. We do meet and have a slight conversation on Instagram. I would like to improve on that. Mm-hmm. But I need you all to send me an email, and if we don't need to do it on Instagram, we can do it in the email or something like that. So send me an email. If you're a member of Eco Nation, let's hit that reset, y'all. Let's get Eco Nation revitalized. So send me an email, and you will be a part of our newsletter too, Growing What I Eat too as well. Just send me your email, please.
For sure.
And anyone that's a member, send me your email, please.
For sure. So, all right. So the commenter called the people bougie and elite.
Well, we ain't gonna do that.
Look, this was not Gigi calling nobody.
We getting all
okay, I don't name.
We was at the bottom of that.
Also, I'm sure they will have guidelines. So we were talking about the guidelines, and that's where I got kind of off track. So, yes, there are some manufactured homes that are still like the real old school manufactured homes, right? They're still the same. But right now, if you just go to the average, like and we got to talk about this one day as well, about who you're doing business with if you're going to do a manufactured home.
That matters.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That matters. We're going to have to do another. We're going to have to talk about that one day.
Just like a used car lot dealer or a new car lot dealer. It matters.
It matters. And so just make sure that you're getting the best that you can afford. Hey, Duval City Girl, how you doing? GT Junior, how you doing? L Triple G Love, how you doing? Make sure that you're doing your research. Like, it's a lot of people that just really kill me. It's like you will do research about all types of stuff, but when it comes to, you'll do background checks on all type of stuff. But when it comes to making major decisions, you don't want to keep going to this place and that place and looking to see what this person has versus this person.
Or technology, man, folks be doing some
real research. They do some real in-depth research.
comparing.
But then when it comes to making a large investment in yourself, you don't want to do no research. What is that? I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, thank you. Growing What I Eat for the membership. Grammy Guns got a membership from Growing What I Eat.
That's what's up.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Send me your email.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so you just have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure that whatever you do, that you're doing your due diligence. If you're not doing your due diligence and you're not, and you're ignoring the red flags, there are some people who they just, it's like, well, you know, some of the people on the Google reviews said that they weren't responsive after the sale. But I just thought it was just maybe one person. Maybe it was just, you better pay attention and you better do your due diligence to make sure that you're doing business with the best people possible. Come on, Growing What I Eat.
Bro, he did that again, man. What's up, man? That's what I'm talking about. Come
No
on.
people need this information. No people need to get this
Let's
information.
share.
Hey, Andale, how you doing?
It's Andale.
And so it was like, you stop overlooking the red flags. Stop overlooking the red flags and make absolutely certain that you're doing your due diligence. Okay? Because there are some people out here, like we didn't do business with this one place. They had one home that I was sold. I was like, ooh. But our goal in our senior citizens years is to not get into a whole bunch of debt. Of course, it's always going to be me. I'm always going to see something else when we say, okay, we going in, we're going to spend $150,000. Leave it up to Gigi. I saw the one for $250. That's the the one for $250. That was the one. That was the one that I wanted. But listen, I stayed the course, right? I stayed the course. I did.
I thought we reset. We said we weren't going to go.
Stop trying to make these people think I'm just lying. Look, okay. I had to do a little reset when we were making our final decision. But if y'all saw the home that had the two fireplaces, it had a fireplace inside, it had a fireplace outside on the back porch. I was sweating hard. I was sweating real hard. But that home was $250.
Still be working.
Your ass will still be working.
I still be on my plantation. You know what I do.
But I was like, when I saw that home, I was like, oh my God, why did I see this? But I stayed the course.
Yeah.
I did. I walked away and I was like, nope, that is not what we discussed. We did not talk about it.
What is the point in having a beautiful home, beautiful landscape, beautiful everything, and you don't even know what's in your home? You don't even know what's in the corner because you're working all the time.
Yeah.
You just going to work.
And I thought about it. I said, if we get this home, I can't just quit my job if I get pissed off. I can't just quit.
Gotta have options.
I can't just quit. Okay, so I stayed the course. Now, when it came down to us being really serious about finding a home, what I did was I said I have a list of non-negotiables.
That's it. Standards. Let me tell you, my brothers, find a woman with some standards now. Look here now. You don't watch it? I mean, find a woman with some standards now. Because if you don't find a woman with standards, they'll do anything. And you need a woman with standards. Go ahead, baby. I know you got your standards.
I had my list. Even Hi, Bayou. How you doing, Bayou Sugar Mama?
Sugar Garden.
Bayou Sugar Garden. Girl, blow up the thing.
Sugar
Bayou Sugar Garden. How you doing? Welcome in. So I had my list of non-negotiables. So when we got real serious, when he was like, okay, babe, like we've been playing around for the last 2.5 years. Like, you know, now it's time to get out of this RV.
We've been playing house.
So I need you to make a decision now. Make a decision. Karen and Thomas, how you doing?
Wait a minute, what you
He was
say?
like, it's time for you to make a decision now.
Oh, you said I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said that to me.
No, you
Oh.
said that to me. I need you to make a decision now. And so I was like, okay, let's go. It's time to make this decision. So I said, okay. He was like, look, right down the street over here, there's a $63,000. He said $63,000, man.
64.
Okay, 63, 64. Who cares? It was like $64,000.
I'll wait for Duval.
$64,000. He was like, look,
that's like a
this would be
full-size
really
truck
easy.
price right now.
This would be easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
The payment will be really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay,
So Karen,
take me to see it. Take me to see it.
That's where I messed up. I should have brought it to the house. Look, I put my money down. This is what we got. It's coming next week. So just understand. I messed up. I take it.
So I went over there and I was looking like, my face was like,
hell to the now, now.
And so the lady out there, she was so sweet. And she was like, she said, you don't like this. I said, no, I don't.
You got a chance in the world when the salesperson won't even work.
He was like,
don't you know I got the purse, miss?
And I was like, no, I don't. And then she said, come on, let me show you something else. So we went over to another one. She said, I think that you're going to like this one right here. And I went in there and I was like, this is what I like. This is what I like. And so I was like, okay, now, but this is still over the budget that my husband said.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to compromise. But I took note while I was in there. I said, all right, what is it that you want? You want sheetrock. That was number one.
Finish great.
It's got to be finished.
Finish sheetrock.
It's got to have finished sheetrock.
Freckles and pimples and dimples on it. Finish sheetrock.
I had to have a shower and a bathtub.
That's 3. Okay, 3. Go ahead.
That ain't no 3. That's just 2 things.
No,
right?
that's 3 things.
The bathroom had to have a shower and a bathtub. I didn't just want no shower and I didn't just want no bathtub. I want the best of both worlds.
But don't you remember how romantic it was to take showers outside when we were off-grid living? Don't you remember how the mosquitoes would be tagging you on your ass? Don't you remember when you was in the shower with somebody else? But it wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Be like, look at all these people in this shower.
Really need a shower?
Man, listen.
Okay.
I had to have my shower and my bathtub.
Don't off-grid and then buy a house. Buy a house and then off-grid and then you go back to your house. Trust me. That's a good way to make your companion appreciate your house. What you do, you don't get rid of the house. You go off-gridding.
Okay.
And then come back to the same house you had and watch how they love and clean and do everything. They enjoy that house. So if you're getting tired of your house, off-grid, live off-grid for a while, and then come back to your house.
Yeah.
That's if I had to do it all over again.
Yeah. Then we could have still had the 2 houses, and you could have still been working and all of that.
No, not that part. I would have bought this, off-gridded, and came back to this on the land.
Well. Anyways, I had to have
that's what's up, man.
the quality that I wanted. Welcome.
Man.
I had to have the quality that I wanted. All of my
Crown molding.
crown and bottom crown molding. I had to have that.
That's 4.
And I had to have I knew the appliances were gonna be good because they really do their very best to have the good appliances. Now you probably ain't gonna get no Bosch. You're gonna have to go outside and get that, but you at least gonna have some Whirlpool appliances if you're getting a decent home. So I had to have my vents in the ceiling
5.
and not the floor. That was it. That was all I had to have. Well, no, I had to have windows to where we have a lot of natural light, and I had to have a tin roof, a metal roof.
So my family, understand this: a bathroom with shower, combination tub, not just an average tub or shower, something that people can easily fit in and out and maneuver around.
Welcome, J3.
But also tin roof, crown molding, sheetrock, finished sheetrock, and then what do you say? Windows,
big windows, so windows, natural light, letting a lot of natural
name
light.
Brand appliances, and what was the last thing I think you
and
above heating and cooling where it comes down and tickles my scalp. That's extra money. 20,000, 30,000, 15,000, 10,000, 5,000. Yeah.
So instead of 64, we went a little bit over 100. But to me, it was worth all of the upgrades that we got.
So now, brothers, I don't have to do nothing.
You got to do
I ain't gotta do nothing.
He doesn't have to do a single thing.
I come in here and I get in the AC. And I may cook me a little something, sit back and relax. Honey, no. Baby, no. Boo, no. Unless you're calling me for something. Leave me alone. No, I don't have nothing in here to do. Nothing in here to do. I mean, it benefits to everything. So
Pam got a question. She wanted to know why were the vents in the ceiling important versus in the floor. Okay.
I would agree on that.
So
I totally agree on that.
So the reason that I wanted the vents in the ceiling, we wanted the vents in the ceiling.
We both wanted that.
Is because when they're on the floor, it's almost impossible to avoid. This is the first thing. It's almost impossible to avoid sweeping things into the floor vents. That's number one. Number two, mice. So keeping them cleaned out, mice.
They love them.
Love the under vent,
ducting system.
The duct systems. They get in.
Hold on. Don't you run about it. Don't you run about it. So as the man, guess what happens in the wintertime? Bang. You hear that? Bang, you hear it. I don't hear nothing.
And he tried to swear he didn't hear.
I don't hear nothing.
He tried.
Wait a minute. I know you heard that. What? That refrigerator?
Then he he tried to pretend like it was everything else. And I was like, there is a rat in here, and then, you need to go.
And then what happens? She goes to work or she leaves, and then I go scurrying. I said, it can't make it tonight. It can't make it through tonight. So what I end up doing, I have to take down the underpinning up underneath the manufactured mobile home or house, whatever, because there's homes with below ventilation. I have to take that up underneath or go inside the door. I have to crawl up underneath there on my stomach. Sometimes I say, "What's up, Snake? What's up, Possum? What's up, Coon?"
He got to get up under them. He got to get up under them.
And I'm crawling under there, and guess what I find?
See? Duval City girl say, "Yep." got the floor vents, and we had them the first time, Duval City Girl, and that's how we knew
Once a year.
we didn't want them again.
Once a year, because we always lived in the country when we had these
Yes.
spots. I would have to retape and reconfigure on my back.
Yep. Get them
Because
straps and
the
put
straps,
like trying to put those things back
the
up.
vent tape that don't never want to
And
cooperate.
look, I had to go up under there with him one time. Me and the dog
Lord,
had to go up under there with him one time. So we
Ride
were
or
sending the
die.
dog up first.
Ride or die. You remember the squirrel, baby?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give my ride or die.
We
Give my ride or die.
We did.
Give my ride.
We did. We did a
Yeah,
thing.
give my
We
ride.
did a thing with
Yeah,
the squirrel.
give my ride.
But I had to go up under the house with him the first time we got it. So that's how I knew I didn't want those again, because like sometimes they would fall. The venison would fall, and then rats could easily eat through them. They will eat through anything. I just don't understand.
Just imagine this. You are a mouse or a rat, and you got a warm, wet, moist place underneath because it's sealed in. And if there's a leak or if it's compromised, your heat goes down underneath the house. That creates moisture, mold, and all that stuff. But now the rats, they go and they bite into that, right? Mm-hmm. Then when they bite into that, guess what they find? Because the ducks are on the floor. We eat Cheetos, chips, bread, crumbs, all of that. That's in your vent system.
When your baby walking around with their little chips and stuff, and you don't realize that
it's
in
the collection of a grocery store.
It's a small grocery
and
store.
So the mouse was in the mall walking through, taking his girlfriend, saying, "What's up, baby? You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. Baby, you ain't gotta go to the bathroom, just poop in the road, just pee in the road." And then next thing you know, your vent is smelling like nice, fresh mouse droppings and poop.
And listen, that smell, like, I am real funny about smells, especially the older I get.
Oh, my goodness.
And the first time I learned what a rat, mouse, whatever you want to call it, sir, smells like, I was disgusted, and I've never forgotten that smell. So anytime I smell it, I'm just like, oh. Hold on, I got to go back up because I had another comment up here. Hold on, I'm going back. Hold on. All right. How do I go about getting land cleared by selling trees, Eco?
You first of all, real quick, what kind of trees? There's a lot of questions right there. How much land do you have? Because just because you got trees don't mean people want to come and buy your lumber.
Right.
They typically in this area, they want a certain type of trees, they want a certain age tree, certain diameter.
Yes.
Because they got to bring value to them. And then my question is, do you really want that to happen? Depends on what you want to do with your land. If you just got land, you just got land. And if you don't care about them just knocking down trees and leaving a bunch of roots everywhere and leaving a bunch of debris everywhere, and you trying to get on that land within maybe less than a year, you might not want to do that.
Because the cleanup, baby,
the cleanup is
going to be something else. They're not going to clean up your land when they come and take the trees.
And you do not want to pay for somebody digging up stumps. Because I'm telling you, it's easier depending on what type of trees, again, depends on what area, depends on all of that. Certain trees are easier to push down with the root attached to it versus raking. That's time taking. Yeah. Another thing is how much time you talking about. You talking about getting on your land in the next 10 years, 20 years, that's something totally different, right? Yeah. Another thing is it really worth it? By the time you get your harvest on that lumber, the broker gets it, transportation costs, the doing that, then you got to come back and still got to clear that land after they done whatever they did. It's
a good way to make money. It's a good way to recoup some of your money. But just understand that if you do this, these putwooders, they don't care nothing about cleaning up. They're not about to clean up nothing on your land. So you're still going to incur that cost to have somebody come back.
And it's easier to pick up whole sticks than pieces of sticks.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. Are you accidentally sweeping into the ductwork? Yes. And it's almost impossible to avoid. And so you have to.
Dust does what?
Yeah, and then the dust is coming down. And on top of that, when you start to sweep, like how many people can really just control their sweeping? Are you gonna like, really like be gentle with it, or are you gonna try to get that thing done so you can go do something else? And then you have to take those ducts off. You have to get down there and vacuum it out, hoping that while you're down there, a rat don't jump up and bite your doggone hand and all of that type of stuff. I was just freaked out with it, and I didn't want.
Well, another thing, what comes with rats comes with
snakes.
Okay, but anyway, check this out.
So,
what if you mopping your floor too? You mopping your floor, right? What I found too, I used to vacuum out of the vents a lot, and every time I took it out, the wood got more and more compromised, right? And then the screws, after a while, they start biting down. And we're talking about from a maintenance thing. They start biting down in there. And then I have to redo a lot of that or put some wood filler in there. And then another thing, when you mop, it holds moisture. The vents hold moisture around the cutting exterior, which that moisture comes down to the duct that fits up into that connector. And it starts slipping down. And then it'll compromise that too as well. So it's maintenance. It's just the maintenance of it.
It was so funny because my daughter has floor vents right now, and she was like, and so when I would go over there, I would notice that the baby she was just crawling at this point, and she was always at them doggone floor vents, and before you knew it, she had it up out of the floor. I was like, yeah. So my daughter was like, no, leave it alone. But she could not leave it alone because the things were worn. Trying to get down in there and clean, keep taking the screws out and putting them back. After a while, like you said, they're going to wear out, and you're not going to be able to get it to really stay like you're supposed to. So those were the things that I said I had to have that was going to bring the price back up. Yeah. And only other thing, I did not complain about this.
We'll hear it later.
But later, I'm going to probably change it. The only other thing that I didn't complain about, I was going to probably change it, is the flat top stove.
Oh yeah.
I don't particularly care for the flat top stoves, and just because I feel like it's more cleaning with the flat top stoves. It's like when I had the eyes on the stove, or when I had the gas. Like I loved the little stove that we had in the RV because it was gas. Originally, I was afraid. I was afraid of gas.
I love gas.
I was afraid of gas. I remember when we were dating and y'all had the gas stove. And I remember sometimes the pilot would go out and you would have to go up under there and relight the stove. And so it was scary to me because I didn't grow up like that. I grew up with electricity. So I didn't grow up with electric. But I love gas.
Gas technology, as far as the appliances, have come so great. They have now automatic igniters and different stuff like that, where it may take a little bit of electricity connected to it, where you can just hold a button down or something like that and it just and light, versus back in the days you had to cut the pilot on and then stick your match in there and then poof, and then cut it back down and all of that kind of stuff. You don't have.
See, Duval, see the girl up there. You're so right. I hate these events. We are laughing last night. We were watching a movie and stop. You hear that? That's the reason.
And what we had a problem at wintertime.
Y'all, let me tell y'all.
I'd be laying in your bed. It'd be about 20 degrees, and I'd be if that darn thing don't get
that one time when I just stopped at my daughter's house and just stayed over there because I was like, she was like, what you doing? I didn't see you. I didn't know you were coming. I said, girl, I texted you and told you I was on my way. And I said, there was a rat in the RV.
Who would think a little mouse would be blocking, man? The smallest thing is blocking for your blessing, man. I'm trying to tell you, get rid of the small things, blocking for your blessing.
I said there's a rat in the RV, and I ain't going out there because he was like, "Nah, he gonna let me sleep.
Man,
he gonna let me stay
I probably spent
sleep.
$50 in sticky traps
And on top of the rest that I had now."
It was so bad I would walk around stepping in them bags. I put the whole floor down. I'm like, something got to give, and I ain't gonna be the one. Something got to give.
We had so many rat traps around that dog me because I knew it had got inside. It was different when I could hear them like scratching, like trying to get in. But I was like, stuff ain't right.
Start tiptoeing.
Ain't right. And then he said, I said, you smell that? I said, it smell like a stinking rat in here. And then he was like, man, ain't no rat in here. And he knew all the way that doggone rat was in there. And so he gonna let me sleep. And the thing I had pulled out of the storage some noodles. Y'all, he gonna let me stay asleep, knowing the rat was on my side of the bed because I had some of our preps. I pulled out a pack of noodles and I didn't put them away before I went to bed. So I had it right there. It was a brand new pack.
This is about mobile homes.
I had it right there on the floor on my side of the bed. Now, all night, he hearing this thing eating through the pack. And he gonna let me sleep. Typically, I could hear it. I could wake it up. I was tired or something. I could typically hear in my sleep, even I'm in a deep sleep, I can still hear like everything.
Wow,
and so
wow.
He gonna let me stay asleep knowing that thing was out there. And then when I woke up, when I finally heard it, I said, I'm tapping him like, you hear that? And then he like,
yeah,
like, babe, yeah, it's been over there all night. It's been I was like, so mad. So mad because I'm like, you gonna let me sleep and you didn't get up and go and put a trap over there so you can catch it.
Did you not know people travel and plan for years to go see Mickey Mouse?
I don't care nothing about no doggone Mickey Mouse. I'm talking about them little stinking rascals that be getting in your living quarters. And I was like, oh no. Hold on. Yeah. Chef Ann said mine always in the ceiling, so I didn't know exactly. That's one of the things that it's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. Caesar Tree said floor vents is a no for me, honey. Trust me on it. Trust me on it. You know I ain't gonna lie to you. Gas stoves are the best, but those flat tops are much better than the coils. They're actually easier to keep clean, and you have even cooking. Let me tell you the other thing, Chef Pam. Because I'm canning, I don't know if it can push. I don't know if it can tolerate the weight of my canner because I have a nice size canner. I don't know if that flat top, if I'm gonna mess it up trying to can. And that was my other reason. Like it cooks well, don't have no issues or anything like that. And then my biggest thing is I seem to scrape it. And so now it doesn't look
new.
Yeah.
It look used.
It look used.
Because it's heat.
Because the rings, the rings that they got on there drawing on, I tend to scrape them when I'm cooking. And so that was the other thing. I just don't like
my question is, does it still cook though?
Yeah, it still cooks, but I want my kitchen to look pretty. I want my stove to look pretty. So that's why I would prefer the other with the coils over that one. But I got what I got. I'm going to use it until it does not work anymore.
Cool.
I just got to do some research about my canner to make sure that my canner is not going to like mess it up. All right, so let's go to the other. But I love me some gas. I love cooking on gas. It's simple. Blocking the blessing. I ain't come home, GT. He was like, oh, no, let me go ahead and get this thing up out of here. But gonna have that thing over there eating the noodles beside me while I'm asleep, and then they tell me. Now, see, in my mind, this is how it was gonna go. It's over there eating, then it gets tired of eating the noodles, and it's gonna smell my body oil or something, and then it's gonna climb up on the bed on me and be like, that smells like some good stuff, and then it's gonna start biting on me. So, that's what be going on in my head. I hate rats. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I love my gas stove. Hold on. I love my gas stove. They last forever. Okay. Note to self: don't let eco be the lookout.
What? Don't be hating. Look, she messed up the name and everything. You hating on me. Boy, that sure don't take money for change on you, boy.
You can winterize your home or RV to keep mice and rats out. Use Irish Spring soap and fabric sheets.
Come to Florida.
It ain't working.
What they call it? We got Nugents down here.
Man, it is some gangsters. It is some gangsters down here. Yeah, we do the scents and all of that type of stuff, and they still got in, so they don't care about it.
They be coming up. They fight alligators, man.
They have to survive gators.
I done had an alligator run up out of the water because they couldn't put the rat chases. Hey, they ain't built the same, man. They ain't built the same, man.
Seasons of Tree said, y'all got me laughing so hard right now. Reminds me of the duplex we lived in. The rat behind the wall had me on edge. Boy, yeah.
I hate it when they're behind the wall.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can with a 23 quart canner, no problems with it. Oh, okay. I got the same size. So okay, I should be good then. I should be good. They don't like strong smells. Yeah, they don't care.
Man, and that RV be smelling that.
But try it though, try it. Listen, that thing, boy, I used to have that thing lit up.
Rock.
They didn't care. My canner, it depends on the make and model. Look it up for a canning. And yes, you can't slide stuff. You must pick stuff up. Yeah, the heavy pots equal exercise. Yeah.
She about that life. She be about that
life.
She be hard.
Breaking that flat top because you didn't feel like cooking.
That's a good way to get you a gas stove, ain't it? Good way to
it's about the make and model of your stove, not the canner when looking it up. Okay. You got the flat top. Also, yes, Gigi, check your stove manual or contact the manufacturer about canning on it. Okay, will do. Thank you all. I haven't had issues ever since. That's awesome. I agree with LG Triple Love this. Great live. Thank you. Get a cat or coyote urine. We got so many doggone cats out here. We have wild cats. We never tried to run them away. We have stray cats that were here before we got here, and I think they did a pretty good job. But there's just some, it's a lot. It's over. I'm sure it's overwhelming for them too because they ain't no skinny cats. They eat well. They just dug up the creek behind my house and making a canoeing trail. Everything came up the hill in our yard. I bet it did. Anytime we move anything, then you're gonna have a whole bunch of my tea working, y'all. Excuse me. It's got me running everywhere. But yeah. We do have cats out.
Yeah, we gotta watch. We got a bodyguard too. It's an owl. Well, a couple of owls.
Oh yeah.
They be picking them every night.
They come through. The owls come through for us. He was actually sitting there calling owls, calling more owls to come over with the sound. So yeah, we have them out here. We got some stuff that really tries to help us out here on our own stead, but sometimes you have
they made a lot. They made a lot, and it's really during the winter time. Like you say, you gotta winterize your house to the best of your ability.
Yeah, and so what I did was I went through in here to make sure. This is another thing, another difference between our first manufactured home and this one as well. We had a lot of like open spaces, like the spaces around the rings and stuff. The rings were not as good. Remember, because remember that one you chased down that time? You were like really chasing it because I was freaking out and you had the weight. Remember? You don't remember that? You remember how you put the whole a mouse in the first manufacturer? He was chasing the mouse down, like literally chasing this bad boy. And he ran back to our bedroom, ran to the closet. He had a weight. And so he was like, he had this bright idea that he was going to throw the weight and just hit it and hit the wall instead. But we had to put down several traps, sticky traps and other traps, trying to catch this doggone thing. And it probably took us a couple of days. But when he threw it, the mouse ran the opposite direction, back past him, and ran directly onto a sticky trap. And I was like, yeah.
Next time.
So we have to make sure that all of our rings and all of that stuff. So when we went through here looking up under the sinks and all that stuff, the rings are adequate and they actually fit like they're supposed to in order to keep things out. So there we go. Sorry. Go ahead.
You ain't sorry.
Wait, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, so you survived another episode.
He survived.
Eco Nation News. Yes. News that you may or may not be able to use. And guess what? We don't just talk about what we said we're going to talk about, but we talk about a whole lot more. And we hope that you all have either gleaned some lessons in life, or you may have created some thought processes, maybe some creative juices that came into your head to kind of motivate you, inspire you to do something a little bit different, or maybe take a little bit different perspective of it. Either way, we hope that it has been beneficial to you, and we hope that you have enjoyed the live. And we definitely appreciate your presence. And thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you. And thank you all for listening in. Thank you all for joining in. And remember, whatever you do, make sure that you keep on growing.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Hasta luego.